Okay, this is the drawer. In the last video, these were the quick fixes I made because we're going to supposedly be repairing or replacing our cabinet island. This came out of our island in a year. So this was just a quick fix to
Okay.
keep it functional.
All right. Well, let me tell you why you had to quick fix that, Thomas.
All right.
You had to quick fix that because of a couple of things. One, it appears as though they had two different ideas as to how this drawer went together. Here, they butt jointed the face into the ends. They butt jointed the face of the drawer, this, into the sides. I'm sorry, the face into the sides. So, and then on this end, they butt jointed the end into the sides. This should have been the front of the drawer. This should have been the front of the drawer because structurally, this is how a drawer should have gone together.
Mm-hmm. And you can see this is just cosmetics that they added.
That's
front
the
plate.
front. The front is cosmetics. It's the front.
Yeah.
It's the door. It's the
Yeah.
drawer front. It's the front of your house. It's the whatever. You know.
Mhm.
It's the tie on the shirt.
Yeah.
It's what's being seen. So here's what we got. We got somebody who put the drawer together, and it structurally it's not put together properly. Two things going on. First, the other one is that there's no reason to have a drawer for a kitchen made this massive. If I were holding brake parts for a truck, this would be a decent drawer for that because it's massive and I can hold brake parts.
Yeah.
But for forks and spoons and bottle openers and
And aluminum foil and pot holders.
way too much.
Yeah.
So typically a drawer is made out of some half-inch material. This is MDF with a veneer of yellow cypress, and typically a drawer is about this thickness. Okay, this is because structurally this is all you need.
Yeah.
What we have here is this. You see this crack here? That crack is a result of the nail that went through the front of this piece here, the nail that went through the front of this here, and it hit this. It's like putting a pencil in a Bible. If you put a pencil in the Bible, you'll be able to see where the pencil is because the pages will part.
Yeah.
Particle board, or not MDF, medium density fiber board, acts just like the pages in the Bible. If you split that page, it will show up somewhere. This is no more than paper that has been pushed together and then saturated with an epoxy. That's what holds it together. This is just paper, cardboard, not paper, but wood fiber that's put together like that, and it results in like a paper. So that's nail that came through here is what split this. The nail that came through here, they hoped would hold this on, but that's like you hold your finger out, hold your hand out, pull this out of my hand. All right, now pull it same direction out of my hand. See the difference?
Oh yeah.
Here you're dealing with tensile strength. That means that this thing here is in here and it can be pulled out. If this were this way, if this were here and the nail went this way like it is on this end, then you can't pull this because you're going to
pull against
that nail. This can't go anywhere because the drawer slides are holding it in place, and so you structurally build in what you want to be built into that drawer, and that is integrity. This drawer lost its integrity, and this is why you had to come in and put these small angle irons in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a drawer very quickly. I'm not going to even use a ruler or a tape measure. This is a tape measure. This is the thickness that it is. This is the thickness that it is. And the saw, I'm going to set it to either of these thicknesses to get us a functional and correctly built drawer sample. I'm just going to do a sample to show you what I'm talking about. So
All
if you
right.
come around this other side over here where you can see what I'm getting ready to do. The first thing I'm going to do, Thomas, is I'm going to cut in our bottom for our drawer. They've got this cut into here, okay, and you can see where it goes into the
They've just cut a slot all the way
cut a
around.
slot, right? They cut a rabbit into that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut a rabbit into this first, and we're going to make this going to be the outside of the drawer, and this the inside of the drawer. Okay. So I'm going to cut a rabbit into here. I'm not going to use a tape or anything, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be about a 1/2 inch from the bottom, and it's going to be about a 1/4 inch in thickness. How close I'm going to come to those lines, I'll show you in just a second. I've been doing this for more than a week and a half. So here's our 1/2 inch. All right, slightly more than a 1/2 inch because I got a veneer on here. That little thin 32nd or 64th of an inch is a veneer. So this is going to be slightly more. It doesn't matter because I'm going to set this. I'm going to set this to our saw. Right in here is where you want to see. You want to see that? Touch that.
Okay.
And I'm going to move this down until that touches and shaves against. Okay, there we go. It's shaving. It's shaving that blade right now. All right. See that? See the shavings coming
Oh,
off there? Yeah. So that's set to this thickness. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this slightly above this thickness. So I'm going to lay that there and crank my saw blade down with this. This is touching it. This is on top of it. So what I'm feeling for is I'm hoping that my hand will feel that blade touch this wood. So I'm going to crank this blade up until it, now I felt that. As soon as I felt that touch it, I stopped. All right. Now I'm going to crank it another maybe 1/4 of a turn to give me a little play so that when this swells up, it doesn't push against that. This wood swells and contracts. Heat from the air conditioning or the heater will cause it to swell up. In the summertime, you turn on the air conditioner, that causes it to contract. You don't want this pushing against your drawer and pushing it apart. So you give yourself a little space. That's what I just did. Now I'm going to cut. This is going to be the first cut is going to be this line. Then we're going to step it over and cut the second line. So the first line I'm going to cut right now. Then I'm going to step it over 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and I'm going to cut my second line. Now we have our bottom. Okay?
Got it?
All right. And there's enough play in this here that it should not swell up and push the drawer apart. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to cut our joinery. In this case, I'm going to make what is called a rabbet joint, and it is going to be set beginning a 1/2 inch from the front and then come back 1/8 of an inch. So since this is already, well, it was set at that, let me move it back 1/8 of an inch. That's all I did is I moved it 1/8 of an inch, and I'm looking right here for my 1/8 of an inch, right in here. So I moved it over 1/8 of an inch to get my second cut on this, and now I'm coming back 1/8 of an inch so that I can be back to, well, it's a little tight. Let me move it back a little bit. There we go. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut. I want this to be down until it comes up to this point where it touches the blade. All right. You see, it's touching the blade right now. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring that up about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to make a pass on this. So what you have now is you have 1/8 of an inch. I messed that up, Thomas. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I should have had it a full 1/2 inch. So I should have been on this side of my blade. Come back again. Come back. This is what happens when you're doing things live. This should have been on this side of the blade. That's what I didn't do. All right, right there. So I'm going to cut it again. So what we have now is we have 1/8 of an inch dado, 1/2 of an inch from the face, this being the face of that. Let me take this off completely.